Okay, Leo.
And Leo?
This is what's going on with you over the next few months. What you need to be aware of.
Indeed. And while he's doing his layout, I'll just sort of run through some of this real quick. What I've got out here with the runes is you have a lot of things that are going on in the unseen or the subconscious, okay? You have some massive change coming in. You've got basically the tower card of the runes, okay? And it's the positive thing about that is whatever this massive change is that's coming on, it's actually going to put you in a really strong position. It's like you're getting rid of a lot of the things that have been making you weak and moving into a period of a lot of very positive stuff. You're ending out a cycle is what's going on, which seems to be a theme that we're running into in these readings. There seems to be a lot of cycles that are ending currently. You are, this is ironic. Seth and I were talking a few minutes ago about readings coming up dealing with things with the family. And what I have here is things dealing with the family and a problem in communications, although that seems to be sorting itself to a degree. But you do have communication with family that maybe isn't going completely as you want it to. And, you know, that's okay. It is what it is. And right now with the Mercury retrograde, it's not surprising. But the main thing that I'm showing here is the need for you to stay very flexible with things, allow things to kind of sweep over you. You don't necessarily need to react to every single thing right now. Realize that people are in turmoil around you as well.
Okay. So what I'm getting is that you have been in a time of prosperity, that things have been going pretty well. Usually I tell people, if you want to be happy, mind your own damn business. But I've got to tell you, there was a warning in this, and you were talking about hidden influences and family and stuff, that there is someone who is taking advantage of you in your family. And that may not be your family of origin. It may be your family of choice, but they're being very deceptive with you. And you need to be aware of that, because it really could have significant ramifications later. But getting through that period of time, and it's a relatively short period of time, you do have a time of celebration coming, and of balance, and of new offerings, and really great forward energy where you want to go tackle the world. You have learned the cycle you're ending has been a spiritual lesson. You've learned it, and now a new spiritual lesson is coming your way, a little more gentler. The last one you had was more of a battle. This one is much more of a free-flowing lesson that's maybe a little happier. The universe is giving you a break.
Yeah, things are coming into a position where I think before it was feeling like things were really working against you, and you're really having problems making progress or moving forward at all. And currently that looks like it's starting to clear up. And so you're actually going to be able to make progress in areas that you hadn't been before. I think that's been really stressing you out, because I have a feeling that it's like you've had a lot of setbacks. You know, you feel like you're starting to move forward and then things collapse, and you start to move forward and then things collapse again. I do think that part of the communication thing, or the taking advantage, maybe somebody who's been undermining your self-esteem, maybe, or it's like the word that came into my head, and I don't know why this would be, but courage. They were undermining your courage. And I don't know what that would be, but that's the word that was in my head. So I'll say it just in case it means something to somebody out there. But it does feel like that somebody has been kind of misdirecting you, or, the communication thing, again, has not been good. And so I'm wondering if some of the communication hasn't gotten twisted so that you were being used against yourself.
Well, they're showing you one thing or telling you one thing, but they're doing another thing.
Okay. That makes sense. Which may be why it's giving the flexibility. Don't take everything at face value. Don't buy into everything. Remain flexible. Keep your options open. Be aware that things may not be as they appear completely. And that, if you're aware of that, you'll probably catch it.
And it is in your flexibility that your intuition is sky high. It's when you're inflexible, your intuition is totally shut down. So as you become more flexible, your intuition is going to work with you.
Yep, I would agree with that.
This is a message for a specific person, I think. There's someone in your life who has a severe addiction problem, and they're facing some very difficult consequences to their behavior. There is hope for them. There is hope. Hope is not lost, but just be aware that there is addiction.
Oh. Which would explain the communication and the guilting and the everythinging in my head. It makes sense because it's like the undermining. It's being undermined through guilt or through like, oh, well, if you really loved me, you would this or whatever. And so it's like somebody's been playing with your head. As interesting, we had the same separate reading the last time, which I think is interesting. It was about somebody who is dealing with an addiction. So whoever that is, offer them the support you can, but do not allow yourself to be drug under with this. And that goes
you cannot do it for
them.
You cannot do that for them.
But I think this actually goes for all you Leos out there. Y'all are very, very, dare I say, vaguely dramatic sometimes on occasion. And it's like it's very much a Leo type of thing to want to take on the lion's share of the responsibility, to take on the lion's share of the emotional debit, to take on the lion's share of, I will take care of everything. And sometimes that's not your job. Sometimes your job is to move quietly out of the way and let somebody else deal with their shit.
In other words, sometimes you can be majestic without being ferocious.
So again, allow the changes that are coming in. Don't fight them, okay? Because it really is setting you up in a very good position. You just have to allow the things to come in. Stay flexible. Don't think that everything is in stone right now, so to speak, she said, staring at her stones.
Well, that's all that I see.
Okay, good enough.
Thank you for joining us. Make sure you like and share and subscribe. Ring our bell.
Woo, baby. Have a good night.